As we know in Call of Dragons, there is a bunch of artifacts, and most of them, the ones that you know at least and interact with often, are the ones that are constantly in the meta. But did you know that there are some artifacts that have some interesting mechanics and interesting interactions that make them extremely underrated? So stick around in this video while we discuss some of the most underrated and underutilized artifacts that have potential to shift the tone of battle. What is up, guys? MEOWER here, back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. So, as we approach the end of Season 2 Plus, I've noticed some people don't use most of these underrated artifacts that you can probably utilize at the right moment to shift the tone of fights, or take aggro from a lot of turrets, or so on and so forth. So, before we get started, be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started. The first artifact we're going to be talking about, an artifact that used to be meta so long ago in Call of Dragons back in the beta days when the old timer Meow Meow used to play since then, which is the freeze ring. So the freeze ring had pretty much been nerfed for to the ground. Basically, it used to have like 30 seconds uptime or something ridiculous like that. What It's still viable that you can use it in order to draw, for example, a lot of aggro from turrets if you want. So you can just stand here and have turrets start to aggro you, and once they do, you just activate it, giving your allies 10 seconds of free damage on top of all the turns. Then you can just slowly clean them up, one by one, and just rinse and repeat. If you don't want to get hit by too many turns, you can have multiple players do that in a way that it can be used to also break the stalemate, or just stand on a bridge and have 10 seconds of invulnerability where players are um advancing with their troops and whatever, and you can just stand here, block off the bridge for 10 seconds, and just rotate between you and your allies, and so on and so forth, in order to draw as much. Sponge as much damage as possible, and when people tend to attack that target that is invulnerable or in a suspended animation, it kind of bogs out and it makes the troops walk into melee range. So once they walk into melee range, you can easily just kill them and pick them off. The second artifact I want to discuss is going to be the Lucia's Horn. Also, if you've noticed, my alliance is all gathering around my city. So, yeah, big shout out to them. I love you guys. Or do I? Yeah, I do. And the second one you can do is uh, use the Lucius Horn. If, say, for example, you're at a stalemate and both alliances have a bunch of turrets up front, and you want to slowly kill the turrets, what you can do is that you can use Lucius Horn to spawn a resource node, and then from that resource node, you can hop in and out of the node and kill towers by one hit, then go back in, one hit, go back in, because turrets only aggro you if you are in combat against other players. If you're not in combat against other players, the turrets will not aggro you. So theoretically, you can constantly hop out of a node, attack the turret, then hop back into the node, and so on and so forth without taking any damage whatsoever. So that is also a really good trick to keep in mind. It also works against keeps, and it works against turrets mainly though. So do keep that in mind. The next artifact I want to discuss is probably going to be the blink. Now, we all know the blink is usually an cavalry artifact that people just use to, farm kill or whatever. But did you know you can also use it on infantry to cut off retreating people in a choke point or whatever? I personally use that trick, and it's one of my most favorites. So, say for example, the enemy is funneling through this pass, and I want to block off their retreat points. So what I do is just send my infantry here, and then when I'm close by, I use the blink artifact and force them all to start getting intercepted by my infantry. And once they're intercepted by my infantry, they don't have an escape route anymore, and they're forced to kill it. So that buys me 10 to 15 seconds of free DPS time while they're trying to run around like hellish chicken, and my allies can just go in and clean house, but this is gets more and more effective as more and more players do it. So do keep that in mind if you want to cut off reinforcements or cut off people trying to retreat. And this also works on the bridge as well if you want to hold the bridge, or you just want to prevent people from retreating in general, because they're going to have to collide with you as soon as you blink and stay on top of them. And of course, there is the Magic Bomb artifact that has some special interactions that I personally even didn't know to a certain point, and my friends still make fun of me for it, which is it blocks people from going into cities or going into tiles in general. So what that means is that you can equip Magic Bomb, for example, on any march and charge it up. Wait till if you see anyone that's trying to hop in and out of cities, and just flame and then just place it on them, and that magic bomb will prevent them from entering said city. So these are four. These were four extremely underrated and underutilized artifacts that you could have used, or you could still use, to prevent some strategies or open up more strategies in general. There's also the Cloak of Stealth that you can use, that you can just equip it on any march or even just one troop, equip it, and stand still in territory. Once that march is present, it will prevent the turrets from being placed, or prevent even alliance flags from being placed without the enemy knowing what's going on. So, if you are in a position that you can slowly sneak around, equip that artifact, and have them scratch their head, cry to support about, oh, this is a bug or whatever, try it. You won't lose anything. So, what you do is, smoke screen and then just stand still and leave the march there. Don't touch it. And if someone is trying to place a flag, they'll be like, why can't I place a flag? So, of course, it is more, uh, or rather, it is safer to use it with a single. Why are they doing this out of my city? It looks like a special thing. But you can you can use it in a single troop to save your troops in general. You can also have the Spirit Bangle to reduce debuffs, though it's really hard to judge where debuffs are in Call of Dragons in general, so I wouldn't really recommend it that much, unless, of course, you want to have a support march in there that can just, do it or whatever. But personally, I never really felt the need, like, oh, I wanted to debuff artifacts, remove all the debuffs around my legions. But it used to be much better, because it used to be uh, removes all debuffs in a bigger circle, not just 5 legions. It used to be 10 legions, and it removes every single debuff. But since it's nerf, it's not really utilizable anymore at all. So, do you think I missed any other underutilized artifact? Do let me know in the comments down below. I would love to have a discussion with you about it. But on that note, I hope you learned a thing or two in this video, and hopefully we can see those artifacts more in battle, and maybe we'll have to think of some way to counter them, because so far I can't really think of anything that could counter them if they're placed in a coordinating setting, especially around bridges or whatever, the way pathing works. It sometimes just extremely bugs out and lets stuff happen that should not have happened at all. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. Also, big shout out for Xzar for giving me this idea. I couldn't really have made this video without his idea at all, and opening the horizons for them. And most of the strategies I never even thought of for a while, because they completely left my mind. So let me know if you have any other strategies you would like me to discuss, or have any underrated, maybe marches or underrated commanders that we don't see in the meta when we should. Let me know in the comments down below, or tag me in the Discord. The link is in the description as always. But on that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're so close to 3,000 subscribers. So it will be a huge milestone, because honestly, I never thought I would even get to 2,000 subscribers to begin with. And now look at us. We're so close to 3,000 subscribers, and hopefully road to 4,000 subscribers next. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Meow meow. Meow meow.